Hello and welcome back to J.P.'s World for Wrestling. I am your man J.P. Now last time I did kind of my part 2 of WWF 1995, but today I'm going to give you kind of my overall thoughts on the Mattel Retros. Now I just did my whole series of videos talking about the individual wrestlers and the individual figures, but initially, um, I like that Mattel Creations, brought back, or Mattel brought back this style of figure. I like that part of it. Um, but after a while, Mattel decided to do away with this figure line and just focus on their main figures, the fully posable ones. But then they developed a division in Mattel called Mattel Creations. And Mattel Creations is initially what brought these back. And I mean, for the most part, like I said, I like the fact that they brought this style of figure back. But let's take this for example. This style of figure, what they call these jumpers, and the idea is you push down on it, weighs it, and it's supposed to jump forward. But I never liked these figures, even from Hasbro. I never really liked these figures, and I'm not alone, by the way. I reacted recently to a Facebook post by a Hasbro group that I follow on there. And they showed one of the head shrinker figures and they said, rate this figure. And almost unanimously, a lot of the people that responded were, well, we didn't like that style of figure. We just didn't like them. They were stupid and we didn't like those. And so I'm not alone in thinking this. And these Mattel ones are kind of worse because look, these arms are just so stubby. One of my subscribers described these as pterodactyl arms. And that's accurate because they're just, you can't do anything. I've tried having a match with this figure and you can't do anything with this. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be negative. I don't mean to just keep harping on these. But this is terrible. And yet they still make them. They still make these figures. I'm not alone in this. People, Mattel Creations, please. And then there's figures like this, where this kick action move is just way too sensitive. It's just way too sensitive. Now, initially, I kind of like this figure. I mean, I like the fact that he has punching hands, and since Nikolai Volkov was not a complicated wrestler, I like that his figure's not overly complicated as well. But yeah, I don't like that kick action move is way overly sensitive. But the problem is with the Mattel Retros is that they're made by Mattel Creations, which is kind of a branch of Mattel, but it's not like part of the main Mattel toy line. So I don't know what kind of facilities they have that's producing these, but they only have like a certain number of molds that they use and a certain number of body styles that they use. And it seems like with every set of figures, you get at least one figure that's kind of this style, where the midsection kind of moves side to side. The hands are kind of like this, and you get a jumper. You get this style of wrestler, and then you get like one that's kind of this style. But then once in a while, they'll pump out a unique one like this Kevin Nash figure. This one is unique, and but like the Scott Hall one, this is a recycled body style. But I mean, honestly, Hasbro kind of did the same thing. Hasbro, the first Macho Man figure was also the Rick the Model Martel figure. It was also the singles heel Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty figure. So I mean, Hasbro kind of did the same thing, but I don't know. I feel like Mattel Creations has way too many, number one, open-handed figures, and they have way too many of these. Way too many. One was too many. These jumpers wouldn't have been nearly as bad had they extended these arms out a bit. But with you can't do anything with this. I'm sorry, Mattel Creations, if you happen to be watching this, but please stop making these. These aren't very good. They're just not. And like I said, I'm not alone. I've heard comments from other people that said they don't like them either. Initially, people my age that collect these style of figures, we don't like these. We don't like them. And again, I'm sorry if I'm sounding negative. I'm trying not to. I never meant for this channel to be anything negative. I always wanted to just be about fun and the memories and all that, but I get passionate when it comes to these figures. I really do. And it just kind of manifests into a rant. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of the thing with the Mattel Creations retro figures. Is that I don't know, like I said, I don't know what kind of facility they have to produce these, but I don't think they have too many body templates to work with. I think they just work with what they have, and if there's a special, I think the reason why these NWO ones are a little bit different was because this is a very special exclusive set just for Ringside Collectibles. So they did a special one just for that, but this is not special. This is still disappointing to me, especially because if you've ever seen this guy wrestle, he does a lot of martial arts kicks, and you can't do that with his kind of ballet style fused together jumpy. This is not a good figure. This is a terrible, terrible figure. Sorry. Oh. So again, sorry. Anyway, I'm going to try to keep it negative. Or I'm not, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to keep it positive from now on. But anyway, that's my initial thoughts on the Mattel Retro toy line. I'll probably still collect them because there's a wave coming out that has Jerry the King Lawler, Paul Bearer, The Undertaker, and Vader. So those are ones that I like to have in my collection. So I might collect those when they come out. I might not. I don't know. I didn't collect Wave 3 because I didn't care. There was a Doink figure that was like this. No. Terrible. And then there was a Lex Luger figure that was like this. No. Terrible. Then there was a Greg the Hammer Valentine that was like this, which is good, but not the Rhythm and Blues. I don't know why a lot of figure collectors, they gotta have the Rhythm and Blues. That was a terrible gimmick. Why do you want the figure of it? I don't know. And then there was Tugboat. Yeah. That's why I skipped out of Wave 3. I just didn't care. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. So if you're new, actually, if you're new here, don't let this video deter you from subscribing, because I do have a lot of other stuff that's not just me going on a rant. Anyway, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.